Well, good morning and welcome back to CityLine. Well, things are getting kind of spooky here in the studio, as you can tell from the wide shot. I have someone who is not feeling their best this morning, so please go easy on him and welcome Mr. George White, aka the Zombie. You are the Public Relations Manager Director for the Goodwill Industries. Welcome to CityLine.
Thanks for having me.
My God, you look incredible. So first I have to tell our audience that you got up at what time this morning?
4:30.
4:30. Zombies usually are not up at, well, actually they still are up at 4:30. They're kind of headed back to bed at that point.
That's right.
You look incredible. So let's just jump into it, because 10 days left until Halloween, last minute shopping. What do? Give us some help here, Mr. George.
Well, the first thing you want to do is avoid the ghost, the sheet of failure, which is it's basically throwing a sheet over your kid and cutting 2 eye holes. That's not what you want to end up with. But then you've got to crunch for time. And the way you can avoid the problems is that the thing about thrift stores, and the reason that I'm here for Goodwill, is that think of in terms of who donates their costumes. You get your grandfather's Halloween box donated, and what that equates to is that thrift variety covers 50 years of different costumes that have been used. And when you've got that much variety, at the last minute, you also have, because it's so random, you also have, it's like a shuffled deck of cards, in that on the last day, you can have just as good a chance of finding good stuff at a thrift store or at Goodwill as you would find 45 days in advance, because the inventory doesn't run out and it's all random. So the great stuff is mixed in throughout the entire process. So what you want to do is grab your smartphone and head for a Goodwill and find a costume helper to get you started.
Oh, I love that. And I love the fact that you mentioned smartphone, figure it out, and then you actually have costume helpers there, which I love this. Every time I walk into a Goodwill, I am so impressed by the customer service, and it just seems to match the selection. It's just an experience and excellence. Now, if I go to a thrift store, how do I guarantee I'm going to have a costume?
Well, again, you want to get one of the costume helpers, and you also want an approach that will work, and that is that you want to start with a base attire, which is what are the outfits that would be the most expensive to purchase, because of course you want to use thrift to take advantage of that, just like the images we're seeing now. You revolve around that, and then you can get new accessories at Goodwill. We go to all of the international trade shows and we purchase as one Goodwill for the entire country. So we have 2,500 stores. We're one of the biggest chain stores in the country at those trade shows. So the new goods are just as competitive as anywhere else. And then you also want to, at the end, you want to round out your attire. So if you go through a Goodwill, you find your base outfit, you find the accessories that you can. If you're missing some things, it's no problem. You just go online and order online what you need to complete your outfit.
That is fabulous. Great advice. Let's talk about some ideas, because I think that all of us are always in search of new and different ideas for Halloween. So how do we come up with those ideas?
Well, you want to start broad on your tastes and then narrow down to end up with an idea. So first thing is, what are you going to use the costume for? If you're going to be out trick-or-treating, there's a 50% chance this year that it's going to be raining. So
yes.
You have to plan for that. And are you going to be going to a party indoors and you don't have to worry about that? Is it going to be cold? Is it going to be hot? You need to know. The other thing is you want to be looking at what kind of movie, TV, entertainment theme, what character from shows are you interested in actually portraying. That will help you send you a direction. The other thing is, do you want to have your outfit be a sexy outfit? Do you want it to be a funny outfit? What exactly is the style you're looking for? And then maybe current events are something you're interested in, if that catches your thought. So again, you're starting really broad on these things. And then what would you rather be doing in life? Maybe the images we just saw of the explorers. Maybe if there's some fantasy that you would want to do, maybe live it and have a little fun with it. And then the other thing is you can always enlist your friends or family to give you ideas. I mean, hey, what do you want to see me as this year?
Exactly.
In fact, some couples will actually go to the Goodwill store and they will dress each other the way they want each other to be,
I love
which can get really interesting.
We are becoming a sensitive country to other cultures and race. How do you avoid those problems at Halloween?
That's a very interesting question, because you can actually have an outfit that works well as a group shot. Like, for example, there's an image here of Aladdin, and as a collective group, everyone recognizes this as the movie, or as Aladdin, the story. But then if you isolate, say the next picture, you isolate someone by themselves, well, that could be culturally offensive to some people. So you have to remember, culture's not a costume. You also have to remember you can be sexy but not sexist.
Right.
Okay. You also want to avoid the wrong side of history, tragedies, disasters, making light of suffering. That's a real problem area when you're going to a party,
Yes.
or even if you're going door to door. And no excessively violent or obscene outfits, of course. And then there's no humor in hate.
Thank you. Oh, what you have just said, we could do an hour on, George. Thank you, thank you. Now, some people shop for Halloween year-round. I mean, I have friends that do this. Tell us about that.
We had a person that we've been using as a spokesperson, Marcy Chung, and you'll see her in some of the pictures that are about to come up here. But she uses Halloween as an educational opportunity. Well, this is her in her astronaut family Halloween costume. So that's how she greeted people at the door. But then she also has a number of other uses. She'll do school, as her kids get older, she'll use it for school spirit or theme days. She'll do bounding, which is what this portrays here, which is you take a particular theme and you create a style of clothing that matches it. It's not an exact copy of a character from a movie, but when you see it, you can say, hey, this is part of that particular theme. Also doing, when she does her global travels, she'll actually dress in the theme of the travel. So as she travels around, she also does playtime creative with her kids. So she'll buy a dozen things and then she'll squirrel them away and then time release them during the year. Here's another one where she's in theme for attending Disneyland.
There we go.
Her kid ended up with Star Wars attire for going to Galaxy's Edge this year. There's Comic-Cons and festivals. There's a dozen of them in the Northwest that you can use. And then, again, travel education, which is fun for the kids,
Absolutely.
Which is what she does.
So let's talk about for Goodwill, what is so special about Halloween compared to other holidays?
Well, 84% of households will shop for Halloween.
Okay.
But only about 38% consider a thrift store such as Goodwill. And what most people don't realize is the variety at a thrift store is enormous compared to, it's not just this year's outfits that have been manufactured for you, it's an unlimited creative capability. And with our social media generation now, everyone's into creative. And so the advantage is to come to a Goodwill store and take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Goodwill is a win-win, especially when we talk about how costumes turn into job training. How does that work, George, in these last few minutes?
Well, what happens is our retail funds our $8 million schoolhouse, and we have in our 15-county region, Goodwill operates a number of career path job training education centers. And those centers provide things like we have a culinary school,
Yes.
we have a construction school, we have computer school, we have warehouse and logistics and advanced manufacturing. And through all these different programs, people can get into not just jobs, but into quality careers that provide a quality of life. And it's free because when you shop at a Goodwill store, and especially when you also donate to a Goodwill store, you're providing the funding for the education that's free to the public.
Which is just so amazing. I'm known here at TV Tacoma for my thrift store outfits, like what I have on right now is thrift from head to toe. And I can't imagine shopping any other way because it is a win-win for everybody. And not to mention that when you walk into the Goodwill and you donate something, they hand you a coupon for a percentage off. So it's another chance to really score a great outfit. George, thank you for getting up at 4:30 and putting together this amazing costume, and for all the work that you and your team do year-round. I just want to say thank you so much, and you have a permanent place on this comfy couch.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. When we come back, Associated Ministries will be in the house. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back after this quick break.